Welcome back to the Unfleshed podcast. This is episode 9, and we've brought in PM Barnes. Welcome.
Thanks for coming, PM Barnes.
Yep, glad to be here.
So, right out the gate, I've got to ask. What's your interest in zombies?
Let's see. I get asked this all the time, and in all honesty, it's funny because I've actually written quite a few other books on other topics since I wrote Zombie Seed, but that seems to be the one that everybody likes to focus on, which is totally fine with me because I'm a huge zombie lover. I've been loving zombies for as long as I can remember. I mean, obviously I was, weaned on the Romero films like everybody else, and it's just always been something that stuck with me. A couple years ago, I was doing this job that was slow as fuck, and I started reading the Mark Claude series. I don't know if you've read the Zombie Chronicles. Fucking brilliant shit, by the way. And I don't know if you've actually had a chance to meet Mark Claude, but he is very reserved for a fucking genius. And his books really got me going, and they really started making me think outside of the zombie box. Because in so many books, I think, and in movies, zombies are just like, they're basically like lampshades. They're part of the background as opposed to like a real part of what's happening. They're just an element that the people are having to kind of overcome, like an obstacle, as opposed to like something in and of themselves. And I think Mark Claude was one of the first authors that I saw do something different with that. And that really spurred me on and made me want to kind of join that conversation about what else can we do with zombies.
So what would separate your books from, say, the others? If you can give just a little hint. I don't want you to give too much away, but just...
I don't know if I can give too much away at this point. Like, I've been interviewed so many times. It's like I always try to bring something new to the table, but honestly, I'd say the major thing that separates my books from all the others is, one, I added a bit of eroticism. I'm saying a bit. Some people would brag that it's, out of control, and some people would brag that it's not enough. But I've definitely added that, and I think that's a little different than what other people are doing, because I don't think anybody else is maybe, doing zombie sex right now. So in that respect, I guess I'm standing alone in the corner with my little zombie book that has a little bit of a zombie sex in it. Also, I think I've added something a little bit different because my zombies are not a mistake. That's something that's going to be touched on a little bit more in Zombie Seeds 2, The Conception, which I'm actually going to be releasing in about a week from now.
Awesome.
Which is the follow-up to the original Zombie Seed. And my zombies think. They think, they plan, they plot. They're actually bigger and better, not slower and decrepit like most of the zombies out there. So it's a little different.
Oh, hell yeah. I bring a taste of erotica into each one of my books. There's always some kind of at least sex scene or something going on, but
because you're a pervert. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean,
I was now burst. I apologize.
I mean, it happens. But you know what? Actually, it's usually my wife that actually, kind of is like, well, you should probably do this. And I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
But, so I've been following one of your books for quite a while, and it's actually on my wish list on Amazon, so I really want to ask you about this one. The Devil Ate Me.
Oh, man. You know what? Because you just said that, guess who's about to get a signed copy when I get this new batch in? Seriously, dude, because I would love for you to read this because I think you're really going to like it, just looking at some of your work, and I've definitely been following yours as well, and I think this is one that I'd love to get in your hands. But, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's an interesting series. It started off, it was supposed to be my foray into smut. What I found out about myself during that journey was that I don't actually write smut. I can write some real freaky shit, apparently, but it's not really something that qualifies as smut. It's erotic, but not in the way in which you would possibly get off on unless you were just really quite sick. So it's a little bit different. I started off that series at the same time. I don't know if you know another zombie author, Dave Moon.
I've heard of him.
Yep, he was starting on his foray into the erotic romance market, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this too. And his is actually very, very erotic, and mine not so much so. The Devil Ate Me is probably my labor of love. It's a discussion about the human condition, just what it means to be human, like desire and want, and how it ultimately transforms us and makes us do weird, crazy things that we never thought that we would do. It's really resonated with people way more than I thought it was gonna. It's like I've sold books from here to Australia to the UK to Japan. That book is just kind of a big deal for people, and it's crazy because it never was supposed to be that, but that's what it turned into.
Well, interesting. It actually, because we're friends on Facebook and all that, so I see all your posts, and then plus I also have liked your author page, so I see those posts as well. And I seen an advertisement you had posted up for that, and it was funny because my wife was right there next to me, and I was like, that looks like some sick shit. I want it. And she kind of leaned over and she looked at it and she's like, you would like that.
That's awesome. I can't wait for you to read it then, because we're gonna have to have another conversation after that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wow. So how long have you been writing?
Well, fuck. I mean, I've been writing for as long as I can remember. I mean, I came from a household where, it's kind of a going joke. My dad used to read The Rime of the Ancient Mariner and Poe to my mom's belly while I was in there. And then my dad wonders why I don't write stories about, he's always like, why don't you write something nice and sweet? And I'm like, Dad, you can't read Poe to a fucking fetus and expect that shit's going to be okay. I'm like, I think it might be your fault, Anybody who's ever read The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, I mean, let's be real here. That's fucking zombie shit and fucking dead birds around people's necks. It's freaky. It's not something you tell to the unborn and expect that they come out okay. So, I've got books that I wrote and little things that I was putting together, even when I was like 6. I actually wrote this play and staged it in the basement and acted in it, and it's just always kind of been a part of. It's always been a part of me. But I recently started publishing a couple of years ago. Started off doing poetry in online publications, and then a little over a year ago, I published Zombie Seed myself on Amazon, and shit's just it's taken off since there.
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll tell you what, out of all the books that you've got going, short stories, anything, what would be one that you would actually like to see turned to film? But taking in mind that film productions usually kind of fuck up your characters and all that, they tend to do what they want with it.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah. I mean, oh, man. I would say, that's a funny thing you would say, because I think myself, just like a lot of people, and maybe some people don't. I hear a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I've always felt that same way about Stephen King. Like, everybody loves The Shawshank Redemption or whatever. It was on TV or something the other night, and I saw somebody do that or say something about it on Facebook, and I'm like, Jesus, I fucking hate that movie. Love the story.
That movie?
Love the story. Love the story. I read the story years before that came out on a movie, and I loved the fucking story, but the movie, I wasn't into it. And that's the same with so many of Stephen King's, books that have been turned into movies. It's just really kind of hard to see it played out in some of these ways, because I don't know, there's a corniness that comes to the movies that really isn't part of his work, in my opinion, that is part of American cinema. I think every piece of American cinema is been jizzed on by somebody at Disney. It's got a weird, even horror films have this weird fucking strangeness that it doesn't exist when you go outside of America and you look at some of these other markets, which is why my husband and I mostly watch a lot of foreign films. Strangely. But to answer your question in the very long-winded way, I'd really like to see Viral Snow turned into a movie, because I think it's one of the pieces that I have that would probably translate the best. There's no curse words in there. Surprise! And no one gets head from a decapitated zombie or anything like that, so I'm pretty sure the networks would love it. And it's a really relevant story.
And Disney is not allowed to touch it.
No, there's not a lot of touching. I mean, the idea is that the short story is kind of from one person's perspective. It's like she's basically trapped inside of, her own home. She doesn't leave it, and she's watching the world go to kind of go to shit around her. But yeah, I think that would be a great one to see played out.
Oh yeah.
And who would you want to direct it?
Well, fuck. I mean, me, but I mean, I don't want to step up to the podium, but I feel like, yeah, I think it would have to be me. Because otherwise, I think that there's as a woman, a lot of my characters are women, or they're, military guys, or, strong guys. I respect strength in all senses of the word. So it's like, I don't know that I would trust someone else to direct something and not bitchify my women or my men. I really need the strength to come forth, and I don't, like I said again, see that in a lot of American cinema right now. I don't know if they're trying to dull and or dumb down representations of people, but I watch movies on occasion, like I said, that come out of Hollywood, and I'm always like, wow, would someone really do that in real life? Are we really that weak? So I would think it would have to be me. So.
Well, and that's like Clive Barker. I mean, with Hellraiser, he actually took on and directed the original Hellraisers, and then he sold his film rights, and then it went off in left field, and he was so pissed off about that.
Well, I mean, you're taking somebody's hard work and
you're taking an icon,
and you're changing it to whatever they perceive it to be, and that would be my hardest part with books that I've written. I'd hate to see that happen because that's not how I wrote them. So
that's just like taking an icon, wadding him up, and just throwing it away. That's just like all the Jason Voorhees, the Friday 13th. I mean, nowadays he's turning on lights, he's setting booby traps, he's kidnapping people and taking them underground, and I'm just like, I can't fucking follow that.
No, and I heard, and I don't know if this is true. I hope to God that it's not, but I heard in one of his later films he actually runs. Now, I don't know about you guys, but
he does.
It made me a little uncomfortable.
He does.
Let's be real here. That motherfucker doesn't run. He just slow walks up on you while you're running at top speed, and he slits your fucking throat. I don't need him running, okay? That's bullshit.
Yeah.
He's out here running. None of us have a fucking chance.
You on that. Yeah, that's one thing I've always
Blasphemy.
Because I'm like, how can you run?
Right.
And he's still right behind you. So yeah, I don't want the motherfucker running. No.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, just for them to even try to make him run is, like I said, it's fucking blasphemy, is what it is. It's fucking sacrilege to the fucking religion of horror, and we won't tolerate that bullshit. Join me and take up signs. So we're not gonna put up with that shit.
Well, they did the same thing with Michael Myers. I'm a huge fan of Rob Zombie. I really am, but I really think he fucked up the that whole thing there. I mean, for one, I mean, he's following his dead mother and a white horse now, and fucking he talks. Michael Myers don't fucking talk. That's one of the biggest things about him.
No.
I
think you can't. This is the problem, honestly, and I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but I think this is relevant, to what we do even as writers. I mean, the people who make these movies, they're writing. It's relevant to what we're talking about here, and like I said, it's the reason that I just can't. I can't. When we seek out, entertainment, one, we don't have cable, we don't watch TV, we read in this house. We play stupid games and we kick the ball around like a bunch of children, but we don't really watch a lot of TV. If we do, generally, like I said, it's foreign movies or it's independent cinema, because I'm looking for ideals that aren't watered. You know what I mean? I just give it to me straight. These, in the real world, things, and you're from the freaking military here. Things don't always come out at the rosy end, and then we hold hands, and it's okay that Billy got eaten by a fucking, crazed goat out on the fucking field. It's like, that's not real. We all hold hands, and it's okay now. Fuck the fact that, the sky rained down sharks, that bit little old ladies and shit. It's just, it's not real. And when you go outside of American cinema, you find that, that there's other things.
Do you apply the same with reading books? Is it the same, like, do you venture out, or do you have what I'm trying to ask is, do you have your favorite well-known author per se, or do you like the independent side of it all, where they're self-published per se?
Like I said, I mean, for me, I would say most of the books that I read right now are indie authors. And that's mostly because I'm just trying to stay up on what's going on. Becoming obviously an indie author means I'm in proximity to a bunch of indie authors, and I feel like it's important, to read the work of my contemporaries. So, I mean, I don't read nearly as much as I used to. I used to read probably 3 or 4 books a week, and now I manage to only get 1 or 2 down. But I still do read quite a bit because I feel like that ultimately makes me a better writer. I mean, nothing opens up your mind like reading something really inspiring, and that was inspired by the person who wrote it. So I definitely recommend that. Find the time, even if there isn't any. Read people's stuff,
Well, and I think in the indie community, I mean, you don't have any limitations behind shit because you don't have somebody behind you saying you can't do that. I mean, you can kind of make things the way that you want it and the way that you saw it, not by, another company's, view of things. So I definitely think on the indie world, you kind of get a better take at things.
Agreed.
It's kind of like, that whole between your PG, versions of shit that they want to kind of condense things down to versus the R-rated that you really want to throw out, because by the time they condense it down, that's basically what they're doing.
Sure. Altering. Well, as always, I one of my favorite parts of this podcast is doing a shout it out. So basically, for those that don't understand, shout it out is going to be very simple. I'm going to ask author P.M. Barnes a topic, not a question, and she will respond to it. So, topic is skinny dipping.
Skinny dipping? I'm all for that shit. Wow, I've had some really incredible skinny dipping moments. Being a Midwest girl and being literally from the land of lakes, I can say that very, very, very many of the lakes here have seen my bare ass. Yeah, I've been known to get, what's the phrase? What is it, biblical? Or is it, I've been known to get loose in the woods. So we'll leave it at that.
All right, fair enough.
Before
you asked that question, I thought you were going to whip your shirt off because you were touching your collar there a little bit. I thought you were going to pull a maneuver on us, show us how the skinny dipping is done. Anywho, go ahead, TJ.
Well, what's funny about that is because I was actually reading your bio that was on Amazon right before this, and it states in there that you've done, a lot of skinny dipping. So that's kind of funny that was the shout it out.
Yeah. You guys.
But I'm very guilty of the same. And I'm sure if you follow me that well on Facebook, you've probably seen me in nothing but aprons and socks and pretty much anything of the above, because I really just don't give a shit. So
yeah, I saw the sock, TJ. I saw it.
Well, I mean, in my defense, though,
my screensaver right now, just for the people out there in the audience, it's my screensaver. So I'm kidding, but not really. Sometimes it's my screensaver, sometimes it's not. Depends on if my husband's around.
Well, my wife's actually the one that put it up, and it all started because everybody was, I guess, getting like all butthurt behind, my posts, and they kept reporting them. So she posted that up and tagged me in it, for that whole, report this, type, I guess, standards. So that's how that all started. Well, that's how I got started for as far as Facebook. That's not how the picture ever happened. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, I bet so. So how do you how do you balance your family's life and finding time to write?
My family life? Let's see here. I married my husband, who's a musician and a graphic artist, who helps me out with all of my covers and whatnot. And we live in a place in a pretty trendy area, and that's pretty much it. We don't have kids. We don't intend to have them. unless they come out with jobs and liquor cards, like where they just, the cool thing is, people are always trying to give kids stuff. If you give a child a liquor card, I won't give the liquor to the kid, but maybe the kid could give the liquor card to me. But anyway, we won't have children here until they change the reading or the directions on the back of those packages. Yeah, we're good. So it's just us.
So finding time to write can relatively be somewhat easy.
There's still beer in there. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine. But so you find writing your writing time to be, it's kind of when you want to write. You don't have like a set schedule or anything like that. And
I would say my biggest issue is that, I work in a Fortune 500 company in a marketing department. So I do that 40 hours a week. And that's probably the biggest bitch I have to pay before I can write. So mostly for me, a lot of my writing gets in on whatever downtime I have. It's time that we have after work. We travel a lot on the weekend. So it's a lot of times me trying to snatch time while he's driving and I'm sitting in the passenger seat trying to, type out some stuff. So nowadays it's a little bit more difficult because last year when I wrote Zombie Seed and a few other of my earlier works, I didn't have to work at all. We were living in southern Indiana at the time, and all I fucking did was sit and, get wasted and write books. But now that's just not the life I'm living. I got to wait till 5 o'clock before I can crack a beer, TJ. Thanks for fucking,
Cheers.
Thanks for rubbing it in earlier today. It was like 2:30, and he's like, I've got one open. And I'm like, really? I'm trying to get there. So, yeah.
I did take up for you, though. I did say that, every job should have, like, beer breaks, just like they have smoke breaks.
Yeah.
So, I write for a living, so, I kind of just make my own rules.
Yeah, you're fucking cooler than us. We get it.
Yeah, don't even rub it in, ass. Speaking of beer, I gotta find my beer. Fuck.
But, if you do have kids, then, you could possibly have the very first Zombie Seed.
Oh, fuck. Anywho, again, I can't tell you, like, I'm probably going to get fucking lambasted for this, but the truth of the matter is I can't imagine a greater killer of fucking creativity or apparently sexual relations than children. Apparently, in that way, they inoculate people to mediocrity. I don't know that for sure, but that's, it's the word on the street. A lot of these things I just get from the streets. And then I don't really know much about the streets, but I hear things and they come from the streets, and that's one of them. Is that children are bad for business.
But on that, I've got 5 kids, and you don't really have a sexual life anymore because every time you think about it, they come knocking at the door.
Oh fuck!
Yeah. Me and my wife joke all the time. It's like we're gonna get a red light and put it right there outside the door. If that red light's on, do not come to that door.
But the minute that you put that red light on, all of the children would come to the door. And furthermore, this is going to raise the bills that you're going to have to pay in their, in their pre- or their post-teen years, where you have to, pay for, fucking shit like counseling because daddy and mommy were getting loose in there under the red light. Every time a fucking red light flashes in their eyes, they're going to lose their fucking minds and start remembering those days when mommy was howling like a wolf and daddy was talking about, give it to me. So, no, you can't do that, TJ. You can't.
Well, I could always express it further. I could always, put on the TLC red light special playing outside the door.
Oh, God. Yeah, okay. You know what you're doing? You're talking about the recipe for fucking up a poor human being. That's what you're doing, okay? Just leave it as it is. Your sex time is done. You have 5 kids. That means, I don't know. Let me do the calculations here. You fucked, we're going to say quite a few times. It's over for you for right now, okay?
I won't mention my sex that I have.
It's always a debate, It's like whenever everyone else is asleep, it's like, is sex really worth it? Because I'm fucking tired.
Actually,
that's the literal sense right there. Fucking tired. I'm sure plenty of people have fucking tired.
Yeah, so it's I don't know if I really want to distress going through all that, or if I just want to fuck my head into that pillow and pass out.
Yeah.
So
So you mentioned, your husband then, he does a lot of your covers then.
Well, the funny thing is that I come up with all my covers and I do them, and then he makes them digitally sound for me, if that makes sense. Like I conceptualize all of my covers, put them together, generally using PowerPoint because it's just what I use because I work at a corporate office, and then he goes in and does like Photoshop and some other stuff, and he makes them digitally sound. And he provides some imagery for me. He's actually, like I said, a graphic artist, ear, nose designs. So he a lot of times will alter images or produce things for me just based on what I like. It's kind of cool. It's like having a nice little creative store right here in River City.
Yeah, no kidding. No shit. So how many books do you have out there? Like, I mean, would you say, rough estimate?
Oh, fuck. Now we've got to go there. Let's see here. No, it's cool. I keep losing count, though, because I keep turning out more work, which is great, but I'm not turning out nearly as much work as fucking TJ over there, who's every time I fucking turn around, he's got another book, and I'm like, what the fuck does this motherfucker do? Sit at home? Just, like, fucking turning a book out a day? But, let's see here. We've got Zombie Seed. We've got The Devil Ate Me 1, 2, and 3. We've got Viral Snow. We've got Viral Snow. What is it? The Imperium, which was a short story I was actually commissioned to do for a sci-fi war game, Terrabellum, which is coming out. It's really kind of cool. And then we have The Wandering Eye, which is a coffee table book that my husband and I did. It's only available in print, and really cool. It's got about 50 different graphic art images and about a decade worth of poetry. And a short story called The Eggs, which is nice because all of the proceeds for the entirety of that story will go to charity. Last month it was the Autism Society, and this month it's the Wounded Warrior Project. So whenever you pick up a book from that, or whenever you pick up that short story, all those proceeds will go to charity, and I match funds every month. So
you actually had eggs out for free for a little while, didn't you?
You know, I suppose I shouldn't say this, but it is for free on Smash. No, not on Smashwords, on Wattpad. But the key would be, you know, I didn't want to make any money on that. It's a super short story. It's 8 pages, and to me, it was just important to get it out there because it's about thinking outside of yourself, which I think is really important right now. Because I think so many people are just so interested in their own funk, and they're not really thinking about other people's experience. And as an artist, which we can't forget that that's what we are as writers, if you're not part of the conversation, I don't know what you're doing. Writers are the first people to be jailed in countries where there's upheaval, and we really need to be doing our jobs. And yeah, I do write fiction, but I think that there's a way to be able to say things in what I'm doing, and I always seek to do that. And The Eggs was a really good opportunity to do that and to give back. So yeah,
that's cool. And a lot of things I do actually, all the sales, pretty much any of the books I do with collaboration with multiple authors. Then I usually do for the Komen Foundation for the breast cancer awareness. I have some that go to PTSD awareness and St. Jude's.
Yeah.
So.
All good things.
Oh yeah, I mean, so it's definitely awesome, you know, to actually, you know, have other authors that kind of go in and do that.
Yeah.
So,
I got
a question for you. What's one question that you're never asked, but if asked, would answer a lot more about you?
Oh man, I guess the best question would be is, am I a pervert? I think, and I'm sorry, I'm willing to. I really think I'm surprised that people don't ask that. I assume they're just being really nice, because you know, I think if you read some of my work, not The Imperium or Viral Snow or The Eggs, which again are very PG. If you read those and you hadn't read, say, Zombie Seed or, you know, the Devil Ate Me series, you'd probably think that, wow, she's a real reasonable person who doesn't think about filthy things. But if you read those books, you'd have a totally different opinion. And I just think it'd be really cool if someone asked me that question.
Well, I would personally say that you're probably a pervert just from the premise of what I've read so far from the Devil Ate Me and your skinny dipping adventures.
But the thing is no, I'm not a pervert, and that's why I wish somebody would ask me that question. So which one of you guys is going to ask it for me? I have to wait for the prompt.
Are you a pervert?
Yes and no.
Okay, you can't say yes and no. Listen to that.
I can't say yes or no. And
I'm a pervert when I write, but not in my real life. But then again,
no. And here's why I said yes or no. And this is really honestly the reason why I wanted this question to be asked, because it's the crux of all of the work that I do. I'm human. And by being human, that means that, yes, you are, and so is everybody else. The Reverend fucking Billy Graham is a fucking pervert. I guarantee it. When he dies, they're going to find a stack of fucking pervert books, all pages stuck together and shit. I mean, he's a fucking freak. Everybody is a fucking freak. We can't help it. We're human. So our deviance and our sainthood are strangely tied together. So, yes, I'm a pervert. And no, I'm not a pervert. But my ability to be able to speak on what I see around me and to speak on it fairly is strong. And I think that that's just what it means, to be a little bit of a freak, but not a full-blown freak.
See, I have in my mind, I can see you like having quite a bit too few many drinks or something, and just being like cutting loose and just going ape shit. You know what I mean? Just Let's get freaky deaky Dutch.
See, I think he's speaking on his own experience, but
well, if you ever read his autobiography, he's definitely got some of those experiences out there.
Fucking send that autobiography to me immediately. I think that might be next week's read. But here's the deal. I would say this. Anybody who knows me knows this. You can expect the same thing from me consistently. Right now, if I tomorrow woke up and everybody, who is important bought my book and I became huge, my interviews would be the exact same. They'd be bleeping my shit left and right. I'm probably, and I hate to say this because I'm not arrogant in any way, but I'm probably one of the last authentic fucking people you'll ever meet. I don't have a need to do anything that isn't consistent with what's important to me. My bottom line, my self-actualization, includes being the perfect version of myself. Not what you think or anyone else thinks, but me. So if you saw me if I was wasted, which routinely I am a writer, let's keep that in mind, or if you saw me bone fucking sober, what you're likely to get from me is the same experience because it's all authentically me, The people who get wasted, and I'm sorry, I'll say it, it's not racist, white girl wasted, okay, and start whipping their fucking shirt around their head like a helicopter, okay, those people are, they're pent up. I don't have any pent up. If I want to fucking smack your ass real quick and then fucking try to ride you around the room like a donkey, I'll just do it and call it good. I won't feel bad about it. It'll be totally okay. So I think that's important to know about me.
You're very genuine. You're a very genuine person, and you're not going to go out of your way and change yourself for the outside world, and that's pretty kick-ass, I have to say, because a lot of people, I do feel like they try to change or mold themselves to be, especially in the writing world. I will definitely put that out there. Like, I want to be this person. You don't. I don't like that. I don't like that. I like somebody unique, and you're very unique, by the way. And that's a good thing. So don't ever change.
Well, the only question is you're talking about people whipping their shirts around in their hair and shit. What parties are you going to? Because I'm never invited to those.
Dude, I'll put you on that fucking list. You show up. Seriously, not 3 times, and then cough once. We'll get you in. No, but seriously, I just, I always think about, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, I don't know if this is a cultural thing or not, but like, there's a movie called The Wiz, and it's like a weird kind of African-American version of The Wizard of Oz, but there's a point where they get to the Emerald City, and the lights start changing from gold to green to red, and the song changes, and all these people are kind of dancing around waiting for the light to change so that they can determine how to be in, quote unquote in. And that's always what I think when I think about life moving forward, is just it's always going to change. You know, if you're waiting for the and I don't want to say sheep, but if you're waiting for the herd to move in order to decide what you're going to be, you're consistently going to be in flux. If you're you and you is good, you'll always be in style. And that's kind of what I feel about my work, as I think my work is presented in such a way that it'll always be in style, you know? And I think that's important.
So you're not only a pervert and not a pervert, but you're also very smart. That's definitely a given.
We'll go with that. I'll let you say that. I didn't say that, so we'll say you said.
Well, I think you're very smart, so I like your vision on life, I guess. So, but DJ, go ahead and ask a real quick question because I saw my wife pull in and she's got a beer, so I'm gonna have a beer.
I love this shit. We're all trying to get wasted. Go ahead.
I mean, that's kind of, you know, what life, you know, boils down to whenever you're in the writing world. I mean, you get really fucked up, and that's when the best ideas come around.
True.
Okay, so, okay. Do you really think that, as far as Amazon goes, it would be more of a, I guess you'd say, a friendly company versus your typical publishing house?
Okay, was that the question? Because you said the word friendly and the word Amazon in the same fucking sentence, and I didn't know what was happening. I don't consider Amazon to be very friendly. It's difficult for me to acknowledge that. I do think this. Amazon is like that snaggletooth girl in the corner with the short dress but the beat up face, but she's good to go. You know what I mean? Like, you know it's going to be okay. You know that you can get what you need out of there. But as far as getting to the true heart of what you require as an indie author, and Amazon's not doing it. So, I mean, that's just my experience. I don't know. Maybe your experience has been different, but that's definitely been mine.
My experience has kind of been up and down. But you know, my experience has definitely been between publishers. You know, I was doing really, really well, and then I signed with a scam artist company, and then I turned around and signed with a UK company, and my sales went to shit. But a lot of that was because they were throwing out, you know, my genre of things with erotica authors. And so, I mean, it just like bottomed out. I went from, you know, selling 67 to 72 copies of ebooks alone per day to turning around and, you know, getting these little 24 to 38 cent, you know, checks per month. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? So, I mean, yeah, I'd say Amazon's probably worked for me fairly decent, but publishers technically, I guess, have not.
Well, that's totally cool. I guess for me, Amazon's the only thing that I know, but how I've been treated, I guess, as a new author has left me a little bit to be desired.
Well, and on that, I mean, you know, as a new author coming out, I mean, I know I personally have seen a lot of you everywhere, groups, you know, my personal page, etc., you know, alike. So, I mean, has your experience with being a new author actually, you know, come, I guess, into a good light of things?
I think it has, but I think it's only been that way because I brought something a little different. It's the funniest thing, and I always have these conversations with my husband, who, like I said, was a guitarist and had his own band. And it's funny because what I seem to find is that a lot of artists, they're not business people. They're artists. They want to create their art, and they're not really interested in all the other parts that are associated with that. They're not salespeople. They're not marketers. They're not, you know, ad producers. They're not branders. They just want to make their art. And I think I maybe got off a little bit easier because I came from, like I said, I mean, I work in a huge corporate office and I'm not writing, that has, you know, where I look at marketing, I look at these people spending millions of dollars on these campaigns. So I kind of get a bit of more of an inside view. And before I did the job that I currently did, I was a top salesperson in a sales firm, and so I come at it with a little bit something different. So I feel like for me as a new author, I might have been able to milk a little bit more from the system, or come at it from some angles that maybe some other indie authors haven't, and gained a little bit more. Like, I make all my teasers myself, and I make them using the same principles, that I've gathered for free, just in doing the job that I can get paid actually to do. So I think that's important to think about, because I think a lot of indie authors are coming to the table and they're like, hey, here's my book, and they've got it in their hands like one of those sad little porcelain figurines and shit, staring up at you all doe-eyed. This is my book, enjoy it. And they have no concept of how to market it. They don't really want to market it. That's not what they're about. But they're trying to get the word out about it. So I think my experience has been a little bit different, but I think it still has been kind of tainted.
So what you're saying is, if I really need like a PA, I need to hire you.
Fuck no. Fuck no. Because in order to hire me as a PA, my friend, you would have to, because that would be like a full-time job for me, so you'd have to match what I currently make in a corporate venue. And fuck, if you're selling those kind of books, I will be your PA. I will come to your house. I will make your coffee for you, as long as you make me a cut off that. So.
I'm paying in sock pictures already.
Fuck. Oh my fuck. Dude, if I was getting paid in sock pictures, don't make me go back to my college years. I've got enough fucking dick pics and sock pics to fucking fill up a goddamn catalog. Are you kidding me? Desert's warm, dude. Fuck that. It's crazy.
If that was going off him and his sock pics, he'd lose sales. You don't want that.
Nah, I think he would get some. I think personally, I'm just gonna tell you from a marketing perspective, you put that shit on your cover, some of these broads who read all this fucking romance shit, they wouldn't even care what the fuck you had in it. All you'd have to say is David's dick. That could be the title of your book, and there could be you with a picture with a sock on your fucking cock, and seriously, it would be enough. Seriously, these broads, I feel like in the romance community, they're not looking for anything. You throw in a couple, I smacked a bitch up and told her to walk across the floor holding a Skittle in her belly button, and they'd fucking be like, God damn it, that shit's sexy. So I think you'd be fine. You can do it.
I've told people.
Steve, are you drinking fucking Schlitz over there?
I've told people many times over, if my job boiled to having to work the street corner, I would starve.
I'm sorry. I'm still trying to understand what the fuck I just saw. Is that natural ice?
That's a natural light.
Natural light on him, yeah.
Are you laughing at my goddamn beer?
No, yes I am. I fucking almost pissed my pants. Jesus fucking Christ.
It's affordable.
No, dude, I'm all for affordable beers. You don't even understand. They had hams for fucking, what was that, babe? $13 a fucking 30-pack? Guess how many fucking 30-packs we had in this bitch? I understand. But I'm just saying, when you held it up, it was like a commercial moment there. You were like, fuck it, this is natural fucking ass, bitches.
Natty life. Live it up.
Yeah. And you look all crazed and shit. I love this, man. Fuck.
Well, what beer do you typically drink?
Yeah.
Fuck me. Honestly, I'm a little classy. I'm just kidding. No. I'm not above PBR. Yeah, I'm from the Midwest. I'll drink a fucking PBR. What I'm actually drinking right now, though, is a local beer. I'm drinking Summit Saga IPA because it gets you fucked up. It's about 6% alcohol by volume. So, I had a couple of gin drinks earlier. I'm starting to learn how to drink gin because, I want to be an adult. Okay? So fuck you. I'm going to try to be an adult now. Adults drink gin, okay? And they hold it in, and they don't piss their pants, and they don't kick their shoes off. So, yeah. I'm working on that.
Well, I typically drink Bud Light. Every once in a while I get Corona, and I absolutely love Corona.
Dirt.
Go to Vegas. I hate that shit. In Vegas, there's two choices that we either get to get fucking Heineken, which is like licking a squirrel's fucking belly button, or we get to fucking have Corona, which is literally like holding on to the back of a donkey's tail. I fucking hate that shit. It's all gross. But good luck with the Corona. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like it.
I drink every single fucking day of my life in the past probably 8 years.
I fist bumped you.
Hey, fist pump? Boom!
Fucking boom! Yeah.
But I will tell you, if for some reason I cannot get a fucking beer and somebody presents me a Corona, I'm going to shove it up their ass and say, yeah, no, I'll go on my lawn and fucking lick dirt. That's what I'm going to do. Because that's what it tastes like. It's bad.
You haven't reached full alcoholism yet, because I'll say this, I think Corona is bullshit, but I tell you this right now, and I'm sitting at a fucking slot machine trying to play fucking JoJo's Fancy House or whatever the fuck it is for a quarter, and some bitch swings by asking me for a drink, and I ask her what she's got, and she's like, Corona or fucking Miller Lite. Guess what the fuck I get? Yeah, Andale, motherfuckers. Bring me that Corona. That's all I'm saying. I'll fucking drink the shit out of a Corona if it's free.
Oh, no.
That's funny, because my wife drinks Miller Lite.
See, I used to love Miller Lite. Have you ever? You probably never toured the facility, but you should go to Milwaukee, tour the facility, and then when they ask if there are any questions, pull a me and say, "Sir," raise your hand and go, "Sir, is Miller Lite the world's greatest beer?" And they'll fucking smile and give you extra drink tickets. Trust me on that.
Oh,
that's
hell
for
yeah.
everybody in the audience too, my friends. Extra drink tickets.
Okay,
Wow.
so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for you to try to quit drinking, and then I'm gonna take you with me, and that way I can get your extra drink tickets as well.
Are you fucking kidding? Sir, you'd be waiting for so long for me to for me to quit drinking. When is this going to happen? Shit. Yeah, this is like waiting for a person who's actually going to help our country to be elected. Why don't we wait for that too, TJ? Sorry.
Well,
political, but seriously, go ahead.
I'm not gonna, go for that whole smother my face in a pillow thing, 'cause that's about the same concept there.
I wish I could be as smart. Typically, I'm the type of dude that when I go to, like, say, a restaurant or something, I say, do you have free refills? And, yeah, we do. I'll say, I'll take one of those. I mean, I'm not quick at all. That's
Let me tell you this right now. Let me tell you this. The cost of a pop in most restaurants right now is about $2. The cost of their lowest, swaggiest fucking beer is $3.50. Now, what the fuck do you want to drink? You gotta figure it out. I mean, let's be real. You can drink some fucking swill. You can play that Coke Pepsi debate, like you're fucking volleying back and forth for fucking which is more stupid. Or you can fucking have a goddamn grown man's drink. Okay? Get a scotch next time. Stop fucking around with that pop.
Hey, I actually like scotch, so. Alright, well.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask about your lip piercing? What's that about? Is that for the ladies, but for your college year?
No. I didn't go to college. I'm a GED guy. Yeah.
You have to go to college to bang the chicks that did. But anywho, go ahead. Tell us about it.
Oh, no, my lip ring, I just got it years and years ago, and I'm fucking 41 years old, but, I went through the pain to get it, so I'm going to fucking wear it, so I don't wear it all the time, but I thought, well, back in the day, it was supposed to be good for the pussy, the clitoris or something. You just shake your head back and forth, whatever. And it's supposed to. Yeah, that's false. That's false. And then I got a tongue ring because I heard stories about the tongue ring. No, you can either eat pussy good or you just can't eat pussy good. So
I got to tell you this right now. I think it's great that you're so down for everything. You're like, fuck it, I'll get a tongue piercing, I'll get a fucking lip piercing, fuck it, I'll pierce my fucking iris, bitch. I'm trying to bring the game. I mean, I love how you're so gung-ho about this. I mean, seriously, you're like the fucking Roy Rogers of fucking pussy eating. I mean, it's like you're clearly interested in trying to bring what you can to the table. And clearly this podcast has gone off of the shelves, but it's great because people are going to listen to this and they're going to fucking be all over it. But I just wanted to ask because it was just confusing. I just wanted to know what was going on because it's over there to the side of your mouth and
yeah.
I remember my pre-marriage days, and I got to tell you, if a man used that part of his mouth on anything that he was doing with me, I'd wonder where we were going, what was happening, and what. But I appreciate you bringing something new and shining a light on some stuff for me.
Well, hey, it goes two ways. So you've been open and honest with us. So See how
it works. Next thing you know, I'll have you telling me all sorts of shit. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, wait 2 seconds. We're going to get his social security number. It's coming up.
Anybody can have mine. My credit sucks anyways.
Yeah, no shit. Steal mine, please. I fucking want to put my shit out there. Just take it. But, yeah. I feel sorry for the person that did. They'd be like, oh, I stole this guy's credit. Ooh. Yeah, good luck on getting a fucking McDonald's burger, bitch. But, I'm just saying, their credit score would actually drop. A criminal's credit score would drop. I'm just saying.
Well, we're almost out of time on this podcast. We're actually already over to the 50 minutes. But for a last question, well, what do you want people to take out of your books?
Okay, you moved your hand, so I thought there was more. And I know the people in the audience aren't going to see that, but I would say the biggest thing that I want people to take out of my books is that it's okay to be alive. That if there's one thing that you need to understand, you are okay. You are perfect as you are. You don't need to undo yourself. You don't need to produce anything extra. There's perfection in just being the best version of you. Routinely, I say this. My characters, every one of them in my books, there are no villains. I don't know how to make a villain. I don't know how to make someone who's quintessentially evil and doesn't have any redeeming qualities about them. I know how to make humans, and humans make mistakes. They're perverts, like we talked about before, and they're not perverts, and that those things can be encompassed in the same human. They can be encompassed in the same person, because quintessentially what being human is about is being a hodgepodge of all of that, is being bad and being good and being foul and being the brightest light that anyone's ever seen, about being, helpful and about trying to fucking destroy shit. It's what it means to be human. And so for me, I'm mostly just writing stories as lullabies to our souls, that it's okay in this world to think that who you are is all right, and to not need and or seek to be something different, but only to seek to be you. And that's good enough.
Hell yeah.
Beautifully brilliant. So.
And to end this, where can everybody find you?
Well, fuck. Well, you can find me here drinking beer. Please bring a case. No, I'm pretty much, I try to keep the branding consistent. So it's PM Barnes Author. You can find me at PM Barnes Author on Facebook. I've got a Facebook group going called I Love Books by PM Barnes or something like that. I've got Phil's Double Tap Street Team. Feel free to join it and help us share some stuff. Also on Amazon, you can find me at PM Barnes. I've got an Amazon page set up there. We're getting the website out. I wanted to do something a little different than what everybody else had, so it's going to have some different elements to it, so that's why it's taking so long. And pretty much you can email me at PM Barnes Author if you want to chit chat or ask me something about my work. And you can find me at PM Barnes on Twitter, although I don't utilize that nearly as much as I should. I'm learning how to twat people. I'm learning how to twat. Twitter twat. Sorry, it's not twat, is it? When you're twat.
You also need a link. Yeah. Do you have real quick, I know we're running out of time. Do you have a specific, is your Facebook page your author page on Facebook, or is it more personal?
My Facebook page is specifically my public profile. I will pretty much friend you if you friend me, because the only things I post on there are book and or public specific. And then I also have a separate page that's PM Barnes Author, which is just a page that you can meet me on. And then Zombie Seed has a page, which is just obviously Zombie Seed on Facebook. I
brought that up real quick because you can link, I don't know if you knew this, you can actually link your page or what have you so that anything you put on that page will automatically go straight to Twitter.
No, I know I'm familiar with how to twat, but I think that the thing is I haven't quite,
twat.
Well, thanks for coming on to the show, and it's definitely been a very exciting interview.
Awesome.
Well, we
can
definitely
chat a little after the recording stops because I've got a question.
Yeah, that's what I actually was about to say. Is after the recording stops, I definitely want to keep talking for a second.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, all right. Well, this does it for this episode, and thanks for coming aboard.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
you to the ground, burn you to the ground, burn you to the ground, burn you to the ground.